taken, goodness gracious me, 2008, I think, maybe earlier, in the Forbidden City in Beijing in China. And this is the raw photo. It's the DNG, I believe, or the PEF, which is the Pentax raw file. So, Brad, let's have a little go at doing a little bit with it here, but only a little bit. So,
yep.
I'll flick it to you. The one thing I don't want you to do, Brad, is sharpen it.
Okay, I won't touch the sharpening.
So if there's anything else there you want to do right now?
There's not a hell of a lot because you've controlled the light so much. When you've got good control of light, and if you compose your shot and do it right to start with, there's always not a hell of a lot that you know, that you would adjust. Apart from, yeah, I would sharpen it a little bit, but I'm not going to touch that. It's like that lifting the shadows. I wouldn't do that too much. I like the mystery of it.
It's sort of a natural vignette, isn't it?
It is. It is. So, you know, but it just shows you, you know, there's detail there when you pull the shadows out. But with a photo like this, I wouldn't adjust it too much. I almost see this more of as a
I think
vertical.
it's actually a portrait, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just I'm looking at it as portrait, and I can see one side's bigger than the other, so I'm just cropping it a little bit there. And if we go to, we'll flip this around.
Yep.
And if we grab a cropping tool again, we can even that up a little bit. And I would take a little bit off the bottom.
Don't need any of that.
And I wouldn't cut the writing.
No.
And I always like, well, this is showing you your thirds, and I think there's another version. I won't go into it. That's all right. We'll go over there. So there's not a lot more I would change because it's a very saturated, very colourful photo.
Right. Well,
so there's nothing I would actually push into it because it's already there.
Right, well, let's save that and save it in the source file if you like. It will save it in that same process file.
Yeah, I'll export it as a TIFF again. So it's going to do that from last time. Okay. So we'll drop that down. And what are we going into this time?
Now we're going into Topaz Sharpen.
Okay. Open that up.
And this will also let you mask out and sharpen certain areas of the image as well.
Okay. Go to the drive. Go to Photos. Go to PA. Go to Oldies, should have put it in the processed, and there it is. That would have to be the TIFF.
Yep.
And it is. Open that up.
Okay, again, let's split the view.
Splitting view.
Now.
Oh, well, straight away. Just they can't see where I'm pointing to. I'm pointing to the little ball thing in the middle, where it's split through. You can see on the left. It's probably going to be a bit harder for you to see through YouTube, unless you've got a big monitor that you're watching this on, or TV. Yeah, on the left is, I wouldn't say it's blurry because it was in focus when you shot it. But on the right, you can see where it's really sharpened up the detail.
And down further, the scale on the fish, the detail in the fish, about 2/3 the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really jumps out.
It makes it pop, doesn't it?
So, Brad, on your right-hand side over there, you got sharpen.
Sharpen, stabilise, and focus.
Right, so you get 3 different modes in Topaz sharpening. So this is sharpen, and it's self-explanatory. Stabilise, they using their artificial intelligence to allow for the fact that you maybe had a bit of camera shake or something.
That's interesting.
Isn't it?
That's sharpened it even further.
Mm-hmm.
It's even sharpened some of this down here,
Yeah.
which it wasn't in the other one. That's actually very good. That's very good.
And if you drag that line, you can drag that line left or right.
Oh, it's almost perfect where it up and down at the moment.
Yep. So,
That's because it's a vertical.
Yep.
But that line's perfect for where it is. That is
impressive.
that is impressive actually. That is very impressive.
The detail in that little headdress up the top there when it reloads.
Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah, I'm surprised about that. It's even right the way through.
Yep.
Yeah, that's and then there's focus.
Focus. Now, this is if you were just a tad off in your focus, and now they're simulating what they think.
Yep. Not
And
quite
I
as
don't
crisp.
like that as much. I think the stabilise in this case.
Stabilise is the one that's.
And it actually makes sense because when I shot this, all this is shot through glass using a 24mm lens on a monopod. So even though I had in-camera stabilisation, there was still a little bit of probably sideways movement going on here.
So now I've zoomed up just to try and show you
Yeah, wow, look at that.
the difference. I've zoomed up a bit more so you can just see
The detail
the
on
difference, hopefully on YouTube, that you can see it. That on the left is the original and on the right is, I know I'm looking off screen here at the moment, but you can see the detail that it's brought up. Yeah, and this is a high we've gone in a big magnification, so that's incredible. We're going to save that. Save. Notice it's got, looks like it takes a bit of noise out as well.
Yes, it does. Yep.
It's got a sharpen there. And that's all, this is all able to be adjusted too.
On your right-hand side.
On the
you can
right-hand
see
side.
the amount of sharpness you want to apply, the noise suppression, or you can add grain back in, Brad, your favourite tool.
I don't do it all the time, but occasionally I do. Gives a bit of move to it.
Obviously recognise the fact that they give you the option to do it.
So we'll need to import, and we don't want that one, we want that one.
Wow.
There we go.
Yeah.
Have a look at that. That has really shown off the software grant big time.
Yeah.
Let's get some comparisons here. Wow, I'm impressed with that. I'm very impressed with that. They might be selling another copy. I might be buying a copy. Because I believe, even though I can come over here and use it, that they've been good enough to help us out. Always support. This is why I've always gone off at people pirating stuff. Okay, if they pirate it, or if you shouldn't pirate, but if you use a demo or something like that, and you like the software and it helps you out, you've got to buy and support the brands. Because you got people are out there that you're supporting people's jobs, and it also supports new updates and all of those things. I know some software, it does rob you a little bit, which can be a bit unfair. But these guys here, when they bring out software and that, it's important to support them. And if I'm going to be using this personally in my photography, I'll be buying a license. I won't be using what we're able to show off here, because it's just the wrong thing to do.
Well, it's worth it. It's not a lot of money at the end of the day, and they're giving upgrades all the time and updates, and they tend to look after you very, very well. So, and when you see the results like this,
I do need the other one. Hang on. Yeah, that's when you see stuff like that. That's just incredible. Very impressed. Now you better warn people that you just can't just throw this on your laptop, can you?
No. That's all this stuff has a there's a Achilles heel in everything, and Topaz uses what they call artificial intelligence, and please no comments on that to your presenters, and that does require a lot of VRAM. So you will need to understand what Brad will explain what all that means. It's video RAM. It differs to your normal.
I'm blown away by that, Grant.
Operating system. So yeah, check out the specs. Topaz give you a minimum spec and an optimal spec as well as to what's required. But gee whiz, have a look at this.
That's unbelievable, Grant. Yeah, we've like I said in another episode, we've actually moved another computer in here, which is quite a powerhouse of a computer, because we want to do all of this strange stuff. So, but yeah, check your specifications, and like as Grant was saying, check your minimum requirements and always go above that, because yeah, it needs a lot of power to run it. But I must say, Grant, I am extremely impressed.
Because that has introduced no artefacts whatsoever. I mean, I'm not seeing any fringing.
Just look at the writing down the bottom here.
That's right.
So what we're looking at here, to explain it, on the left is the original file that I processed. I didn't do much on Lightroom because this photo's got plenty in it. But on the left, yeah, we've got the normal photo, and on the right we've got the one that's come out of the Topaz software. Just look at the writing, the sharpness of just the writing here, and just the level of detail is just that's just phenomenal.
Without any artifacts, fringing going on. Normally, when you see a sharpened photo, you'll often hear people comment what that line is, or the ghosting effect going on the edges of it, and it's a dead giveaway as to over sharpening. I'm not seeing any. If you're going to see it, you'd see it on that bright.
I was going to say you'd see it in the bright areas,
and it's not there.
No,
there is nothing there.
And I'd actually looking at this, I'd try and, but that. Unfortunately, there's not much information in there, but I would tone that down just a little bit. But like I said, the photo's pretty much fine as it is, and just adding that level of detail, that's just, yeah, that's blown me away, Grant. That's incredible.
Well, you're a difficult man to impress, Brad. So
I can be.
I'm pleased.
Yeah, I'm pleased. Yeah. So. Like I said, they may have just sold themselves another copy. I think I might be.
Check out they sell this. You can buy individual programs, but they package it in two bundles. There's a utility bundle and a creative bundle. These tools are part of the utility bundle, and I would highly recommend that. It's part of my workflow now. When I finish processing in DxO, I flip over to Topaz and either sharpening or noise reduction, etc. So, Brad, we're going to do one more thing with this image.
Yep.
And I want you to close that down. We'll go to another Topaz program to finish off on here.
So you're wanting another photo, or you want to close this?
We can use this same shot. So close that all down. Now let's go to Gigapixel. Now, how many times have you taken a shot of something and you're looking at it and wishing you could enlarge it, and you go to enlarge it and it's just not the quality in the file. The file isn't big enough. You're going to start blowing things up into A1 AO prints. You want a very big file, and you look at a shot, you crop it down and think, oh, that's really good, I want to do this, and you try and blow it up, or you take it to a printer and they go, nah, you're going to have lots of little pixels, lots of little coloured squares on your finished result.
So where are we going?
Take the same image, the Chinese one.
Okay, from the original.
Yeah, take the one that it won't matter. You can take the
the one straight out of Lightroom.
Yep, that's right. Take that one.
So this is the one that hasn't been sharpened.
Nope. Right. So here it is.
I better maximise it so everybody can see what's going on.
Generating its preview. Right. Now let's say, look on the right hand side here, and we have select our resize. So let's say we wanted to make it let's go to 4 times bigger, Brad.
So we've got scale, width and height, and then under that we've got a scale. So you want to go 4 times?
Yep. Let's go 4 times bigger. This is now getting to be a very big file. So we can now go to, well, that's okay.
I'm already seeing a difference between the left and right.
Mm-hmm. You are?
Yep.
So, and look up on your top right hand side.
Just the detail. It's going to be hard for the people to see at home, but just the detail, just say this area here, Grant, it's a lot smoother and yeah. Anyway, go on.
But have a look on your little preview navigator screen at the top right hand side. See how much we've zoomed in on that.
Oh yeah, big time, yeah.
Now go up and find that little head, the central feature of that. Drag it up. Just down a little bit, down.
Oops, there we go.
Well, that'll do. That's okay. Let's use him. Okay, so that's a tiny.
I can see. I think they can see that at home. You can see the left, which is the original, has less detail than on the right. It's incredible what they can do with software, isn't it?
So what this means is if we now hit save on this, we're going to end up with a very big file.
So keep in mind this is the file that came out of Lightroom, which I didn't do much to except for cropping, and that's basically it.
Yep.
Cropping, and I just flipped it around. This isn't the sharpened version that we use, and because I know the sharpened version had a hell of a lot of detail.
That's right.
But just with this alone has cleared things up a bit. All right, what do you want me to do?
So you can now save that.
Yep. You want me to save it?
Save it.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll save it back to
should save it in the same area.
And we'll give it a name. So when it saved it, if you reopen it in Lightroom.
Of course, it's going to be a lot bigger file now.
This will be a big file that you can delete later. But again, we make the point that if you're going down
it's got here before it disappears. On the left is they got a size written here, which is 1915 by 2565. What it's pushed it to is 7660 by 10,260.
70 megapixels.
So it's now just made it a lot bigger.
A lot bigger file. Well, what that now allows you to do, and we're going to do shortly, is we're going to crop in. So now you'll be able to go to that folder, that file in a minute, and if you wanted to print this bigger, then you could crop in and chop it down, and then still get a reasonable quality print out of your effort.
All right, it's done.
And now you could apply sharpening to it if you wanted to, but let's just go back and crop it for now. And again, we make the point that make sure you're playing with their specifications correctly, otherwise you will struggle. And they quite conveniently give you a tag after every
It tells you what you've
adjustment
done.
they make, whether it's noise or sharpening or gigapixel.
Okay, this is it here.
There it is. So crop in.
Well, that's that was not cropping. That was me zooming in. Let me go to develop. Okay, go to crop.
Just crop in on the very middle of it. Just pull it right into the.
Where do we want to go? There.
That'll do. Yeah, and you've still got detail. That's the point. Now you can sharpen that. You can still work with that. You can still print that. If you did that off the original shot, you would be printing maybe 5x7.
That's correct.
Now you can print.
Your size would be a lot
Yep.
smaller.
So now you can print an A3 or bigger, perhaps with this.
Yep.
And if you save the, well, actually just save this export. Just save that as test. Just give it some other tag.
Yep, sure.
Or JPEG.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I can.
You need to save it as a TIFF actually, because we need
It should
to
be.
know,
Yeah, it's on
we
TIFF.
need to compare it to the other one.
Yeah, it's saved as a TIFF. So I don't know why I did. Okay, so all right, that's saved now, Grant.
So let's just go back to the folder, the original folder. I just want to check the file sizes of what's been saved.
Oh, okay, yep.
Okay, so
Test, there it is.
here we have. So on the original gigapixel one,
It's I'm not too bad with my cropping. So the dimension, we'll look at the original. Okay, so the original is 1,915 by 2,565.
yeah, or in megabytes,
28.1 megabytes.
as a TIFF file.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the full size.
Yep. Now, after we've cropped it down to, you can see
So
how much
the one we've
in.
cropped. So it's the same file. So they're both. Let me just. Yep, they're both the TIFF files.
Yep.
Just had to double check. So this one, which has been cropped in, is the dimensions is 2,738 by 3,605, with a 56.5 megabytes.
You can see how much we've cropped in.
And we've got a bigger file.
We've got twice the size file
Yeah.
left.
I could have cropped in a little bit more to make it the same as.
You could have got more.
Yeah.
So that's the big advantage of gigapixel, that if you want to, like you see in our background on our shots, you see the cars on the wall behind us, that's all done, printed using gigapixel. So there we are, folks. That's a little look at Topaz. Hope you've enjoyed it, and check them out, Topaz Labs. Very highly recommended.
Yep, I'll throw a link down in the description below. So yeah, check them out. They, like I said, they may have actually sold me a coffee, Grant. It was very, especially that sharp and blew me away. So, yeah. So yeah, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Cheers, folks.
Bye bye.
See ya.